right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike, you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician, niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scar bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. Dig. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for. Yes, indeed. Here we go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. Y'all already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Yeah, man, we're going to get into some good game. As usual, and you already know my first order of business, man. I got to hydrate my game. I got to put some love in my body. Okay, man. Yeah, so we're going to talk about how real 304's move. But before we get into it, you know me, man. I'm always promoting, popularizing things in the game that aren't so popular, and not glorifying bullshit in the game, right? So I'm gonna show y'all something that's not very popular in the game. That should be more popular game, should be more promoted in the game, right? Excuse me. So hold on. As you can see here, test results available in portal. And you see this email was sent at 1:09 p.m., which was 57 minutes ago. So I went and got tested this morning, right? And I got tested for HIV, hepatitis C, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis as well. Now, as some of y'all probably already know, the syphilis and the gonorrhea and chlamydia results usually take like a few days to get, but you get the HIV and hepatitis C results immediately. Well, probably within an hour or two of getting tested, right? It's been like a couple hours since I got tested. Now, this is my first time, well, probably in a long time. I usually don't get tested for hepatitis C. But the lady asked me and I just said, why not? So, yeah, I probably ain't been tested for hepatitis C in a long time, but I got tested for it today. Got my results today, so bam. You dig? Logging in. And these are the results for today. As you can see, this one is pending. This is for chlamydia, gonorrhea is pending. And hepatitis C, non-reactive. All these stupid ass people say, non-reactive, that means you probably could still have it in your body. Non-reactive don't mean negative. You dumbass people who don't ever get tested. I know the screen probably, you can't see the whole screen on Instagram. Y'all gotta excuse me, but yeah. Let me see on the Instagram screen. Look like y'all can see where it say non-reactive. Oh no, yeah, antibodies to HCV, which is hepatitis C, not detected. So this is my hepatitis C results. And now for the main event. The HIV test results. Haters gonna say it's Photoshop, but hey, haters say a whole lot of shit that don't make no damn sense. Y'all seen me log into the portal, so it is what it is. But my HIV results today, as always, non-reactive, not detected. I don't know if y'all can see that on the on the what's it called on the Instagram screen, because it's kind of like a little delay. I don't see it on IG yet. But yeah, man, like I said, this is something that should be more popular in the game. It's funny how the one they try to put this disease on is the one always getting tested, always showing his test results, and they're always negative. You know what I mean? But it's still people running around saying the opposite. Boy, they want me to have that shit so bad. Like, damn, why y'all want me to have that shit so bad, man? What I do to y'all? But, yeah, man. Safe intimacy in the bedroom. You dig? Yeah. Practice safe intimacy. So yeah, as you can see here, I got tested for HIV this morning at 11:30, 11:32 to be exact. And yeah, as always, not non-reactive, not detected. Okay, so bam. Now we can get back into this game. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Man, okay. All right, bam. So yeah, man. We're gonna talk about how real 304s in the game move, right? Now, what I want y'all to understand, what this video is about. This video is just breaking down how real 304s think, how they view the game, and how they behave in the game based on how they see the game and how they think. This is not to criticize and bash those who do not fit the criteria of what I'm about to break down, right? So if you don't fit the criteria of what I'm about to break down, it don't mean that you a punk. It don't mean that I don't like you or I got something against you. It just means that you just might not be a real 304, and that is okay. It's okay to not be a real 304 in the game. It's not okay to remain a non-304 in the game after you become aware of the fact that you are not. That's what's not okay. But nonetheless, this ain't to bash nobody. This ain't to point the finger at nobody and have criticism towards the non-304s. Much love to everybody in the game, but this is dedicated to the real 304s, right? We're going to celebrate the real 304s. We're going to magnify the real 304s, right? And I know some of y'all in the game, you might have even been in the game for some years. You might have been in the game for a couple years. You might have been in the game 5 years, 10 years, whatever. It's still some of y'all that do not truly understand the game because you were never really truly turned out, right? So let's get into it, man. Now, the first thing, man, a lot of y'all gonna be offended, man. But we just got to keep it real. And this is what I want y'all to understand. This ain't it's a lot of people that get on the internet and say a bunch of hypothetical, theoretical shit. This is the truth. This is what's really going on in real time right now. In real time, as we speak, there are ladies in the game who exist in this type of fashion. They have these things about them. They've been turned out. I know some of y'all think like, man, Freeze, you too harsh. You too hard, man. Like you want a chick to be Superwoman, man. It's impossible for a chick to be like that. No, it's not that it's impossible. It's just that it's not for everybody, right? That's just like some people will probably say, man, a pimp gonna have to do something, man. Ain't no such thing as a pimp that don't smoke and don't drink and don't do this and don't do that and don't do drugs, don't get high. Come on, man. You gotta be able to do something. No. you hear one right now. You know what I mean? No drugs, no alcohol, no smoke, no nothing. You know what I mean? I don't shoot, snort, sip, pop, nothing but game. Right? But yeah, man, hey, let's talk about 304 etiquette on this Instagram, the social media. Not just Instagram, social media, period, right? Now, some people may think, oh, hold on just a second. Hold on. All right, I'm back with y'all. Now, some people think that because you don't have folks, that gives you a license to be on some non 304 type shit. It gives you a license to just be on some punk shit. And, a real 304 is going to conduct herself in a certain fashion, whether she has folks or not, right? Like, example, right? It's a few ladies who've come to my attention on social media recently, right? Over the past like week or so. But I get chicks like this every so often that I guess you could say try to get my attention. But let me just give you an idea of what's attractive to a pimp from a lady in the game. Now, these ladies that I'm talking about, when I go to their page, they not following any pimps. They not following any real pimps. They not following any fake pimps. They not following any wannabe pimps. They not following any gonna be pimps. They're not following anything even remotely close to a pimp. They not following a actor, this a rapper that want to be a pimp. They not following none of that. Your favorite rapper, they not following none of that, right? So, a chick come on a pimp's page, she might like some pictures or she might, give some kind of indication that she's, that pimping done caught her attention. So, like we do, pimp will go look at the page and be like, she look like she might be some game. Okay, let me go check her out. Pimp go to her page. She's not following no pimps. And then not only that, she's not following Dino. She not following Raw Talk. She not following Let the Record Reflect. She not even following me. She might have came on my page to get my attention, but she ain't even followed me. Right? I dig that. That's attractive. It says a whole lot about, cause see, this is what a lady in the game who done really been under some real instructions that got a good understanding of the game. This is what she understands, right? She understands that, pimping is going to be paying attention to her every move, what she does, why she does it, and so forth. So she's going to do everything in her power to be as attractive to that pimp as possible. And there's more to it than just her having her money right. Right? She's going to have a certain type of etiquette about herself because she understands, like, I want to make, if I'm going to choose this individual, I want to make it as smooth as possible. I don't want to make his job more of a challenge than it needs to be, right? I don't want him to think that when I come to him, he got to do a whole bunch of deprogramming and reprogramming, right? I want to be as ideal to him as I possibly can be, right? So with that being said, she's not following Dino. She's not following, and it's no disrespect to those individuals because she's not even following the person who she digging on. She's not following no pimps or nothing even close to a pimp, right? And not just that, but she's not following all the messy females that be on social media, right? the messy females that go live together and talk bad about who they just was with, or talk bad about pimps that they don't even know, ain't never paid, ain't never been down for, but they got criticism for the ism that they ain't never been with and probably don't even qualify to be with. You know, the real 304, she's not even going to follow those types of people. She's not even going to engage with those types of females in the game. Right? And real gentlemen in the game take notice to this type of shit. Like I say all the time, the smallest gesture speak volumes about the character of an individual. So when the pimpin' go to a chick page, she might have came on his page first, liked on something. He might not have ever even seen her before. He don't even know where she came from or how she came across him. But he go to her page. She not following no pimps. She not following no messy females in the game. She not following none of them gossip pages. She ain't even following the Shade Room, TMZ, World Star, Hollywood Unlocked. She not following none of that. Right? So, you know, that's attractive to a pimp, because a pimp understands, like, damn, this is cool. So at least I know if I end up knocking her, you know, I don't have to worry about her being out of pocket with everybody. Right? Because she's not even following, you know, nobody. And, you know, she might be following other individuals like herself, you know, people that are in pocket, ladies in the game that are in pocket and not messy. Right? So, that's how the real 304 is going to move on social media. Right? She not going to be following a whole bunch of messy nonsense. She not going to be going live gossiping about this female or this male in the game. She's not involved in anything messy on social media. Right? So, yeah, when it comes to social media, that's how a real 304 gonna move. You dig? Let me put some more love in my body real quick. You know, I'm out here in this desert, man. It get hot around here, man, so pimp got to stay hydrated. Got to keep some love in my body. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. Okay. Excuse me. So yeah, man. Now, as far as being down and around, right? We gonna go through the different arenas, the different avenues of the game, right? We gonna start with the blade. Now, a real 304 that's down on the blade. First and foremost, you know, she's concerned with safety, right? Because we all know rule number one is self-preservation, right? So a real 304, when she down on the blade, she understands that because there are so many things beyond her control, she doesn't want to surrender any control that she doesn't have to, right? Because when you outside, there's so many things beyond your control. So many people that you can't control. You can't control what they do, how they do it, when they do it, so on and so forth. You can't control the environment. It's so much beyond your control, right? So a real 304 understands, okay, I want to be as safe as possible when I'm down. And in order to be that way, I can't surrender any of the control that I have the power to attain and retain. So I'm going to be fully aware of what's going on. See, when you are under the influence of drugs and alcohol, what you're doing is surrendering even more control, right? There's already so much that you don't have control over. So the one thing that you should have control over is yourself. But when you're under the influence of drugs and alcohol, you have even less control of yourself than you should, which means you're surrendering that much more control to the outside, which is unwise. Real 304 understands that. So with that being said, she's not going to be, snorting anything, popping any pills. She's not going to be, she's not going to be doing any drugs or alcohol whatsoever while she's down. Right? Because she needs all of her faculties working in her favor that she has, within her control. She need all of that working in her favor. So she's not going to make herself weak and vulnerable by being under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Right? And then, so the safety part is one of the main reasons why she's not going to do any of those things. Beyond that, she understands that, if she allows these things to become her master and get to a point where she's serving these things more than they're serving her, because that's what happens when you get addicted to drugs and alcohol. They become your master. You become a slave to those things. You become a slave to the alcohol, slave to the drugs, right? She understands this. So, again, safety is one thing, but then, just appreciating herself and being in a love affair with herself is another thing that she's going to be concerned with, right? And she understands that, putting all that hate in your body for extended periods of time, it's going to take a toll on you. You know what I mean? It's going to have you 25 years old looking 52, right? And then it's going to have you to a point where things that you should care about, you don't care about anymore, which is so many things. People that you should care about, you don't care about anymore. She understands that comes with, the use and abuse of drugs. So she's not going to be even into that, right? So that's one thing. And then also, she's definitely never going to do that with a trick, right? Because if you are the type of person that does drugs or is into alcohol, if you partake in that with somebody, it should be somebody that you trust, somebody that somebody who has earned your trust, right? Somebody who is tried and true when it comes to dealing with them, right? You've been in situations with them where you needed to trust them and they've proven to be trustworthy. So because of that, hey, I could have a drink with you, right? Or whatever it is that you like to do, you could do it with them and be safe. You know that they're not going to try to take advantage of you or harm you in any kind of way. And if harm does come your way, they're going to protect you because you know this person and you trust this person, right? Or these people. Doing this with a trick, on the other hand, this is somebody who you do not know, right? And you might say, well, freeze, it's, what if it's a regular? What if it's somebody who I done seen a bunch of times? You still don't know this individual, right? You don't know where they live. You don't know where they work. You don't know anything about their family situation, if they have kids or not, if they have a wife or not, if they have siblings or not. You don't know where they from. You don't know anybody where they from. This is just somebody that you deal with on a transactional basis. And you might have had plenty of transactions. That's just like, I might shop at Macy's. And I see the same cashier at Macy's all the time for years, right? Me and this cashier at Macy's, we've dealt with each other 100 times over the years, right? And we might have a little small talk here and there, but at the end of the day, we do not know each other. We know of each other. We're very familiar with each other in that setting, but we don't know each other, right? And even though I might have dealt with this cashier at Macy's 100 times, I'm not about to just, trust this person on a personal level until like maybe I might position them to earn some trust with me, but I'm not just going to give them my trust and they haven't earned it, right? So it's the same thing in the game. So with that being said, a 304 in the game, she's not going to get high with a trick. She's not going to get drunk with a trick, right? Because not only does it make her vulnerable, but it's too personal of an experience with a trick. You're not supposed to get that personal with a trick, right? You're supposed to be professional with a trick. And, as a 304, you a cold actress. So you a cold role player as a 304. But at the end of the day, when you're dealing with a trick, it's a battle of the minds every time. This is what a real 304 understands. Every time she deals with a trick, from the most difficult trick to the coolest trick and everything in between, it is a battle of the minds every time. Because if you give the trick an inch, what is he going to do? He going to take a mile, right? He ain't going to turn nothing down as far as like any compromise from you. He's not going to turn that down. You know what I mean? Very rarely will you come across a trick that, just think about this, right? The majority of tricks, even if you're the type of lady that demands it's mandatory to use protection in whatever activities y'all engage in, right? But if you was to just one day come to this trick and be like, you know what? I like you. You cool. We don't have to use protection this time. How many tricks do you think is going to turn that down? You might have a few, very extreme few, but the majority, 95%, probably more than that, but at least 95% are going to oblige you on that. They're going to be with that. So, on the same token, let's say you got a regular and he's accustomed to giving you, $1,000 each time. Every time you deal with each other, he give you 1,000. But if you come to him and say, you know what, you've been such a good client. This one's on the house. This one's on me. How many tricks are going to turn that down? Almost none, right? So, with this understood, you got to understand it's a battle of the minds, right? Because whatever they can get, they're going to take. So it's up to you to be a professional, to protect yourself, and to be on point at all times, especially mentally when you're dealing with a trick, right? Because everything else is affected by the mental. So you got to be on point mentally when you're dealing with a trick. And with that understood, you're not going to trust them in certain ways to certain extents. You're not going to trust them because it's business, right? You understand that this is not your friend. This ain't your family. So you're not going to get drunk with him. You're not going to get high with him. And you're going to protect yourself and protect him. Y'all, that's the beautiful thing about dealing with a 304, a real 304, right? See, this is what, professional tricks, because you got professional tricks out there, right? You got your, scumbag, get over any way they can type of tricks, and then you have your professional tricks. A professional trick understands that a 304 is the safest woman that you can deal with, right? Because a 304 is going to stand on that protection. We have to use protection every time, no matter what we're doing. Protection has to be involved. It's mandatory dealing with a 304, right? But that chick who you meet at the club or at the car wash or the laundromat or whatever it is, you know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, you know, because a lot of square chicks, you have some that's not, but you have a whole lot of square chicks that they like free shit, first of all. So if you got some weed or some alcohol, they gonna be all in. They ain't gotta know nothing about you. They ain't gotta know where you from. As long as they physically attracted to you, they ain't even gotta be physically attracted to you. If you look like you got it going on, you might be in your home. You might be sleeping on your partner's couch. But if your partner let you drive his foreign whip for the day, and, you know, maybe wear some jewelry of his that he ain't gonna wear that day, he let you wear it that day, you know, it's gonna appear to her like you got money. So she gonna be all in if you say, hey, I got a bottle, or let's go get a bottle. You know what I mean? I got some weed. Let's roll up. 9 times out of 10, they gonna be all in. And fellas, y'all already know. Y'all already know that the majority of chicks that you meet the first time, they gonna let you hit with no protection. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? So, again, that's the beautiful thing about a real 304. Real professional trick know that he gonna be safe dealing with a real 304. So the protection part not only protects the 304 herself, but it protects the trick as well. You know, he's paying for a safe, enjoyable, non-judgmental, you know, non-emotional, non-critical experience with a 304. He ain't got to hear her nag before or after they get down. You know, he ain't got to deal with no attitude because she's not irritable because, you know, she can't serve her master, which is the drugs or the alcohol. You know, dealing with a real 304 now, she's not a slave to the drugs and the alcohol. So, you know, she carries her own weather. She understands that, you know, she's the master of herself. She's in control of her emotional state. So she does what she can to affect a good mood in her life, right? So she upbeat, she feeling herself, she happy, you know what I mean? She got good energy, personality, charisma, all that. So, you know, this is what a professional trick understands that he's paying for. You know, he get to deal with this woman. You know, she's attentive to him. She pays attention to him. She's studying him in order to understand him. Little does he know, in order to break him for as much as possible. But at the same time, she gonna give him what he pay for, right? So, you know, this is, again, the beautiful thing about dealing with a real 304, right? She gonna keep it professional with the trick. And she's gonna use protection, and she's not going to trust him, you know, because she doesn't know him, to be getting drunk or high with him or getting drunk or high around him. But because you got a lot of that goes on as well. You got certain chicks that'll get drunk or get high with a trick and he's not even drunk or high himself. That's extremely dangerous. That's crazy, but it goes on, right? So again, this is how a real 304 gonna conduct herself down and around on that blade, right? Another thing, a real 304, she understands what she's out there for, right? Real 304 ain't going out there to make friends with tricks. And on the same token, She's not going out there to make friends with other, chicks that's down and around, right? She's not trying to be friends. She's not trying to socialize, right? She's not trying to be buddy, because she understands that, again, there's so much beyond her control. And she understands that the game is cold, but it's fair. But it is cold, right? And a lot of chicks in the game who socialize with each other, they be buddy, cool with each other, but a lot of them got ulterior motives for each other, right? You might have a chick that's fresh to the game. She ain't never did cocaine ever in her life, but she become cool with these chicks that she looking up to them because they've been in the game longer. They might know a little more because they more experienced, and they'll introduce her to that shit for the first time and don't even care that this is the first step to her ruining her life, potentially. They don't care, right? Somebody who give a damn about you, they're not going to introduce you to something that if you do too much of it or if you use it irresponsibly, it can unalive you, or it could just, make you extremely irresponsible and deteriorate you, and just make you unattractive in so many ways, right? But you have this type of stuff that goes on, and people who do stuff like that, they don't care about you. Or, you got chicks that might see that you got a good catch, that you know how to move and get money, so they'll try to piggyback off of that, right? So they'll try to latch on to you to piggyback off of you to get some money that they can't get on their own, right? Or they just like wasting time. They might just, misery loves company. And some chicks go out there not to make money, but, to socialize and kick it and smoke and drink and get high with they quote unquote HPs, they quote unquote 304 partners, because, they don't like how their life is outside of that. They don't like how their life is at home. They don't like how their family life is. So this is their escape. They get to come to the track. They ain't really got to make no money because 9 times out of 10, they quote unquote folks ain't really doing no pimping for real. And, he's out trapping her in a lot of cases. People don't really talk about that, but it's a lot of that going on too. You got a lot of these chicks that's paying somebody that out traps them every day. You got some chicks that's in stables, 4-5 deep, and they folks out traps all of them combined every day, right? And, they get to just go pretend like they trying to do some 304ing and, socialize, smoke, drink. They folks, he out trapping them, so he don't care. They could do whatever they want on the blade. But what happens with that is a whole lot of mess, a whole lot of chaos. It's inevitable. Chicks is going to get into it. Right? For the dumbest reasons. They smoke and drink every day with each other, but, this chick's regular, all of a sudden, he like her friend that she be smoking and drinking with. That's going to be a problem. That's going to start a fight. When it's like these tricks belong to everybody. They belong to the game. So but they be cherishing these tricks. You got chicks that be worshiping these tricks. They treat these tricks like that's they world, that's their everything, right? So they don't keep in mind. See, a real 304 understands that, tricks come a dime a dozen. So I'm not going to, get bent out of shape if he decides to go date somebody else, because that's what tricks do. A real 304 understand that, so she don't take nothing personal that's happening with a trick, right? He might date her 5, 6, 7 times and then see somebody else over there, you know. She might, you know, if it's a wifey, this is the beautiful thing about a real 304. They don't hate because they know that this one trick is not going to determine how successful of a 304 she is. So she's not going to get bent out of shape. But you have this type of stuff that goes on with the girls who just be out there, right? And it's just so much chaos and so much mess. You know, chicks will tell on each other and try to get each other arrested. It just be, you know, a real 304 understands all of the potential drama and chaos and nonsense that goes on that comes with socializing. So because of that, she's not going to do no socializing. That's not what she came outside for. She didn't come outside to make friends with a bunch of people who don't really care about her, who will feed her to the wolves if they get the chance, who will snake her, you know, do something foul to her, try to get over on her in some way if they get the chance. So, you know, she's not even going to take the time to try to find out who's cool and who's not. She didn't come out there for that. Right? So ain't no socializing going on. She came out there to break on tricks, get money, run it up. So that's what all of her time and her energy goes towards while she's down, is that. Checking a respectable trap consistently, right? And guess what? You remember how I said on social media, she's not following a whole bunch of pimps. She's not following the messy females in the game. She's not following the messy pages. So, you know, she's not a phone junkie. She also didn't come outside to have her eyes and face glued to the phone, right? Because again, that's kind of equivalent to getting high or drunk, right? When you got your face in the phone, when you got your head down looking at your phone the majority of the time, you make yourself just as vulnerable as somebody that's under the influence of drugs and alcohol, right? You under the influence of social media to the extent where, you know, you're not aware of everything that's going on around you. Good and bad. Potential danger could be coming your way, but because you got your eyes glued to this phone, you don't see it, hear it, none of that. Right? So not only is she not going to have her eyes glued to the phone, she's definitely not going to have any AirPods or, you know, headphones of any kind in her ears. Because again, that's surrendering control to the outside world. And that's the last thing she want to do, because again, she wants to keep everything within her control, right? She don't want to surrender no control to the outside world that she doesn't have to. She needs all the control she can get while she out there, right? So she wants to control what she hears. She wants to control what she sees, right? So she's not going to make herself vulnerable by having AirPods in her ear, and she's not going to make herself vulnerable by having her face and her eyes glued to the phone the majority of the time, right? Because just like she might not be able to, you know, she's not fully aware, so she might not be able to pick up on certain dangers out there. On the same token, she might not be able to pick up on certain benefits out there with the phone glued to her face and her eyes and the AirPods or headphones in her ear, right? It might be a trick trying to get her attention. Man, all the gentlemen in the game who done been riding the blade, and even some tricks who might be watching and listening right now, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, you see a trick riding, trying to get this chick's attention. He done rolled past 3 or 4 times trying to get her attention. But she's either socializing. So even if he does get her attention, it's like half-ass, you know, you want to date? She ain't even trying to like she ain't even really trying to hold for it. She just, she's so focused on socializing that she don't even really engage the trick. Or, she looking down at her phone and she got AirPods in, so she can't even see or hear the trick. He trying to get her attention. He might have a nice chunk of money for her. He might really want her. It's 100 chicks down, but he want her. He want you. And you can't even hear or see him because you got these AirPods in your ear and his phone in your eyes. Right? So, again, this is something that a real 304 understands, and she's not gonna do that. She's not out there to make friends with tricks or 304s. It's not a part of her household. It's not her wifey's. She's not out there to, chase sensations that will make her weak and vulnerable out there and, not fully in control of herself, meaning she's not going out there to get drunk or high, right? She's going out there to check it. She going out there to get a bankroll, right? So, let me put some more love in my body, man. Listen, y'all mean to tell me y'all got some nerve on YouTube, man? It's 183 of y'all in here, but only 129 of y'all wiped your feet off at the door? You mean you tracking all kind of bullshit up in here, man? Come on, man. Hit that like button. Put some love in my body. Hydrate my gang. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, we done touched a lot on how a real 304 is gonna move on the track, right? Another thing a real 304 ain't gonna do on the track is be out of pocket, and we gonna break down what's in pocket and out of pocket, right? So we gonna speak. Really, this applies to beyond just the West Coast. This is really anywhere, right? Because a 304, she know the difference between a trick and some ism and somebody who might be trying to pretend to be a trick, which the real pimping ain't never gonna do that. But a 304 got discernment. She could smell a trick from a mile away, right? But you know what? Yeah, I do have to speak specifically about the West Coast, because the West Coast is different from other regions in the country, right? So, the real 304 is down on the blade on the West Coast anywhere on the West Coast. Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, any blade on the West Coast. A 304 now, a real 304, she's never going to date a black man. Never on the blade on the West Coast, never. A real 304 is not even entertaining the thought of dating a black man. Well, Freeze, I'll be telling my game, they could date black dudes this over 40. Hey, listen, man. Take it from somebody that's over 40 like myself, right? Hey, man, there's guys out there that's crafty, that are over 40 years old, that's gonna try to con a broad out of some pleasure in time. And, They got all kinds of nonsense, all kinds of stuff that a 304 could easily avoid by avoiding dating black men. Right? And a real 304 on the West Coast understands this. So she's not even going to entertain the thought. It might even be a real trick who be tricking all the time and he cool. She's not going to entertain that. She's not going to bless that at all. Right? So, with this being said, something that is very common on the West Coast, on the blade, that a real 304 is never going to do is see a black man and say, hey, baby, want a date? Real 304 ain't never going to do that on the West Coast. Never. And see, a lot of chicks do this they use that as a license to get out of pocket. Right? You have certain chicks that just be so, I call them nigga thirsty. You got a lot of chicks in the game that are just nigga thirsty. You know, they like getting freaky with gangbangers. They like getting freaky with fly scammers. They like getting freaky with fly, dope dealers and all that. They just, fly street dudes. You got certain chicks that just can't resist that type of stuff. Right? So, and the pimping. Can't forget the pimping, of course. But, you have certain chicks that are just nigga thirsty. So, they might see somebody that they have a good idea is more than likely some pimping. But, she like his car. She like the song that he's playing. She like, him. She get a good look at him inside the car. She think he's sexy. So, she don't want to just come out and just be out of pocket, on some grown woman shit, because a real 304, if she does get out of pocket with somebody, is because she's ready and willing to choose up with that individual, right? This is the only time a real 304 gonna get out of pocket with somebody. When she's 1, ready, and 2, willing to choose up with that individual that she's getting out of pocket with, right? But you have these non-304s that, again, they see somebody, they like them for whatever reason, one reason or another, and rather than be a grown 304 and just, let them know that they interested in choosing up and how can I choose up and what I got to do, they would just much rather be like, hey, baby, you want a date? Right? And, you have those kinds, and then you got some that just, they don't care. They probably hope that this is an actual trick that, that they could, get their nut off with. And 9 times out of 10, they'll do it for the free or for the low. Right? If he's cute, he could get it for the 30 or the 40. You know what I mean? If he built like the typical trick and looked like the typical trick, he gonna have to pay the regular amount. But this one right here, he fly. I like him. You know what I mean? He pulled up playing my shit. Yeah, he can get that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna have fun too. And he got hold on, he got a bottle in here. Hold on, he got some weed. Oh yeah, he getting that for the 40. You know what I mean? The real 304 ain't got time for that. She's not entertained by any of that. She's not interested in any of that. So, to avoid all of the shenanigans, a real 304 on the West Coast on the track will never, ever date a black man. But Freeze, he 100 years old. He might be 100-year-old pimp. Or he might be 100-year-old bullshit ass dude.
You know what I mean? She not doing it. And then if you just think about it, if you just think about the demographics of most places across the West Coast, you know what I mean? With the exception of maybe Oakland, Richmond, you know, there's certain parts of South Central. You know, the majority of the population in these areas where most blades are is not black. They call us minorities for a reason, because we make up the minority of the population, which means the majority of the population is non-black, which naturally means that most tricks are non-black. So even if there are actual real tricks out there that's trying to do some honest tricking on these blades on the West Coast, that they are the extreme minority. It's probably only like 1 out of every 200 tricks, 1 out of every 500 tricks, there might be a real honest black man trick. So you don't have to do that. It's never so slow, or you can never be so desperate that it's like, damn, I ain't made no money out here. Man, I shit. Guess I gotta date these black dudes. It's never that serious. Never. You know? Real 304 ain't even gonna play with that. So yeah, man. She not entertaining that. She's not dating black dudes at all, so she's not walking up to any black man's car talking about, hey baby, you wanna date? And another thing, a real 304, not only is she not walking up to a black man's car talking about, hey baby, you want to date? She's not walking up to anybody's car saying, hey baby, you want to date. Right? Cause see, this is what you gotta, like, people in the game understand, you know, from a tricks perspective. If you just think about tricks, if you think about a trick, right? Let's say a trick riding around on Western or riding around on Fig. The majority of ladies that he approaches out there is going to say that. Hey baby, you want to date? And immediately the first thing that's going to go ring in his head is amateur, no game, mark, easy target. I'ma have my way. She ain't got no game. She don't know what's finna hit her. I'm about to play her and play with her and have fun for the low or the no. Right? That just screams, I have no game. I have zero game. When a chick walk up to a trick car and the first thing out her mouth is, hey baby, you want to date? It just screams that she don't have no game, that she hasn't been laced, that she hasn't been educated on the art of breaking on a trick. She don't know what she doing. Right? And, you know, real 304s in the game, this you know, got some game about theyself and got some 304 about theyself. They understand all of this. They thinking to themselves, okay, I need to distinguish myself from the rest as much as possible, right? So I'm going to speak the right things with my appearance. That's first and foremost. She going to dress and present herself like a professional 304. And then also her presentation verbally is going to distinguish her and separate her from the rest, right? She's thinking to herself, what can I say that nobody else is going to say out here to a trick when he pulls up? What can I do to instantly separate myself with my conversation? Because I know that once I do that, I also separate myself as far as my chances of getting what I want. because I know how to talk and I know how to break on the trick and I know how to direct the conversation without being aggressive, without being forceful, without being less than classy. I know how to direct the conversation in a feminine, classy way, grown woman way. I'm not leaving it up to this trick to determine what's going to happen on this date. I'm going to determine that. And I'm starting off by not saying, hey, baby, you want a date. Right? Because, see, this is what a lot of chicks don't think about on the blade, right? Just think about the guys that's supposed to be pimps. If you a chick that be on the blade all the time, just think about all the guys that be riding around presenting themselves as some pimping. Y'all be saying it. Everybody sound the same. They all saying the same watered down ass shit. They all rhyme. They all trying to rhyme and sound slick, or they saying what they heard Sugar Free say on the song, or they saying what they heard Rollo or Silky Slim say on the song. Like, everybody sound the same. So just like you don't want to choose among the majority of guys who sound the same, just think about it from a trick's perspective. If he riding around and every chick that he pull up on say, hey, baby, you want a date? Just like you don't want to deal with all them guys that's riding around talking about, hey, now, say now. Hey, little baby, on Pimp Street. Give us some yimping. You know, you don't want to choose up with nobody like that because everybody sound the same. You know, the trick don't want to spend his money on somebody that's like, hey, baby, you want a date? Right? People who understand quality understand this. People who have an appreciation for quality when it comes to service understand this, right? It's like when you go to a restaurant. A server, if the server just comes up and, you know, they do the bare minimum. They say, hey, what would you like to order? You know, they come check on you every, 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. You might give them the bare minimum tip, which is 20%. Right? But if your server comes up and says, hey, my name is Chris, I'm your server for the day, how you doing? Where y'all from? Wooty wooty whoop. How your day going? And when you drink your drink, you don't even have to say anything. As soon as your drink gets halfway empty, he coming around filling it up. You don't even have to say anything. He just keeping his eyes peeled on not just you, but everybody. And you notice that. You like, oh yeah, Chris on his job. You know what I mean? And he come around instead of every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes or less. How's everything going? How's the food taste? Everything cool? You need anything? You need any sauces or, condiments or anything like that? You good? Okay. If you need something, let me know. Somebody like that, you got some cheapskates that don't be liking the tip, but me, I just appreciate quality service. So Chris might get a $30 or $40 tip from me. You know what I mean? Depending on how, how good I'm feeling about the situation. You know what I mean? He might get a $30 tip for sure. Right? Because I appreciate good service, especially from people that's, this doing their thing and being attentive to me. So on the same token, if you're a woman in the game, if you're a real 304 that is like that, if you're a real 304 that appreciates good service when you go to a restaurant, appreciates good service when you go to a store, all of us know that feeling of walking into a clothing store and the employees that work there, they don't even greet you when you walk in. You're like, man, I ain't finna spend no money here. They ain't even say nothing to me. They didn't say hello. They didn't ask me if I need any help. I've been in here 5 minutes and ain't nobody said nothing to me. Man, I ain't spending no money in here. right? When you understand good customer service, you know, you going to have that about yourself when you presenting, you know, cause when you a 304, you in the line of customer service yourself, right? So again, you're going to be thinking of ways to distinguish yourself while you out there. What's the majority of these bras finna be saying out their mouth? Hey, baby, you want a date? Okay, let me not say that. And let me figure out something better to say. Right? So yeah, man, that's blade etiquette. You know, I would say in a nutshell, but I broke that down a little too thoroughly to fit into a nutshell, man. So yeah, that was we gave a pretty good breakdown of how a real 304 moves on the blade. Now let's move along to how a real 304 moves in a bar / casino, you know, carpet. You know, everybody calls it freelancing now, but, you know, I call it playing the carpet. You know, I don't even like the term freelance. You know, anything that involves 304 and free, you know, I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't even like, you don't hear me using the terminology freelance. I'm cool. You know, I don't send people out there to freelance. You know what I mean? That ain't my thing. But playing the carpet, right, as opposed to the concrete. You know, casinos, bars, things of that nature. You know, it's a certain type of conduct that a chick gonna have. Now, let's just speak about let's talk about Vegas, right? Vegas and South Beach. Because in both places, people can walk around. You can walk up and down the street with alcohol, right? You can walk up and down the street outside on South Beach with alcohol in your hand. You can walk up and down the Las Vegas Strip outside on the sidewalk with alcohol in your hand, right? So, and you can even smoke now. So, one thing a 304 on the carpet, you know, whether she's on South Beach or she's on the Las Vegas Strip, one thing she ain't gonna be doing is walking around with alcohol in her hand, smoking a cigarette or smoking a blunt while she's trying to catch a date. Right? Real 304 is not going to do that. Because, again, when you outside, there's so many things beyond your control. And, you know, you want to keep as much within your control as possible, right? So you want to put your best presentation forward. And you might have a high caliber trick that's checking you out, but he might be turned off by the slightest thing. You know, he might not smoke cigarettes and he don't want you blowing cigarette smoke in his face. He don't want to get cigarette smoke in his clothes. He don't want to have to deal, because, you know, he done had that experience before where he getting into his hotel room with a chick and she just fire up a cigarette like it's all good. He don't want to deal with that. He don't even want to, you know, take the gamble of having to deal with that. He don't want to deal with, because he done dealt with that before too. He done had a 304 in his car and he don't smoke and he don't allow smoking in his car. She don't even ask. She just fire up a cigarette, you know. So whenever he see chicks that smoking cigarettes, you know, he don't even entertain that. Right? You know, so a 304, she wants to heighten her chances of having her way out there as much as possible. Right? And then it's just not classy. Even if the trick don't have a problem with you smoking cigarettes, it's not classy. And you want to be classy and ladylike as much as possible. So you're not going to be walking around with a cigarette in your hand while you trying to catch a date. If you do smoke cigarettes, you're going to go duck off in the cut somewhere take you a little break, smoke your cigarette, you know what I mean? And then get back to it. Or, you might have instances where, a trick, he smokes cigarettes too. And that could be an icebreaker. You know what I mean? You might have a light for him, or he might have a light for you. Y'all smoke a cigarette together. That's different, right? But as far as just walking up and down with a cigarette in your hand, that's, it just ain't cool. Anybody who done been down and around in these places, on these carpet type situations, knows that, we've all seen a chick with a blunt in one hand, a Hennessy bottle or a Casamigos bottle in the other hand, and she just talking to this trick like it's nothing. It's just a black eye. It just ain't even, even if the trick don't have a problem with that, you as a 304, a real 304, she understands that that's just not attractive at all to be walking around like that. And then this is what you got to understand as well. Like I've said before, you have certain tricks that might have a lot to offer, but they'll only be willing to pay you according to how you present yourself. If you look cheap and trashy, if you present yourself as less than classy, if you present yourself as ashy, then they gonna pay you according to that, or only be willing to pay you according to that. You have, a real 304, she's going to present herself at her best. When she's on these carpet type situations, she gonna present herself professionally, sexy, classy at the same time. And she's going to speak with her appearance. And what she's going to speak with her appearance is that I am expensive. I am not cheap. You can't lowball me. She's going to say that with her appearance before she could ever say it with her mouth. I'm not cheap. Don't even, her appearance is telling the trick before they even talk to each other. Don't even think about it. You know what I mean? And, so she's saying that with her appearance. And then when she opens her mouth, her conversation is in harmony with her appearance. Then she stands a better chance at having her way, having what she wants, having what she knows she deserves. Because she's doing everything to make that make sense, right? As opposed to some who, they got these 5-inch nails that they can't go a week without breaking. So, she just got her nails done 2 days ago, but because they too damn long, she done already broke 2 of them. So her hands is looking busted. She went to Rainbow and her whole outfit costs $15. So, her presentation ain't up to par. She, in her mind, I could get money with flip-flops on. I catch dates with flip-flops on all the time. So, she's going to have these flip-flops on. And as you know, when you walking outside, when you put miles on your feet outside, them sandals is going to make your feet dirty at the bottom. Right? So, you walking around with these dirty feet at the bottom and all this type of stuff. And, you feel entitled to money that, based on what you saying with your appearance, your appearance is screaming that you don't deserve that. Your appearance is screaming that it doesn't make sense for you to have that. Right? So yeah, man, the classy real 304, she's going to speak the right things with her appearance. And she's not going to be walking around with alcohol bottles in her hand. She's not going to be walking around with blunts in her hand. None of that. Right? Let me put some more love in my body, man. Okay, y'all almost got the likes looking like the viewers. Go ahead and get them likes to that 200 right quick, man. Hit that like button. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hydrate my game with some of this love in my body. Naomi say Jesus feet. You already know. Yes. Another thing that a real 304 is not going to engage in while she's down on the carpet. And you got some chicks that engage in this on the blade too, but I would say that it's more common on the carpet. It's more common, on the strips or, in the casinos or bar areas. And it's sad how common it is, but it's not extremely common, but it's common enough to where it's not such a rare sight. But self-proclaimed 304s, getting intimate with tricks like at the bar, right? Not going, the full distance, but doing stuff with tricks that you never should do, like kissing in the mouth. Man, again, anybody who done been around Vegas or Miami or Hawaii, New Orleans, y'all already know, man. We all done seen it, man. We all done seen a chick talking to a trick and, she's kissing him in the mouth. Next thing you know. No money has been exchanged. And even if money is exchanged, that's something that a real 304 is never going to do. She's never going to be kissing on a trick in the mouth. And especially not at a bar or outside somewhere, right? But you got this type of stuff that really goes on, man. Real 304 is not doing that. She's not kissing tricks in the mouth. She's not letting tricks touch her in the private areas, getting free feels and all that type of stuff. Real 304 is not doing that. And, she's going to conduct herself with class. She understands her value. And everything costs, right? She's charging for everything. So if he want to, touch her, if he want to smack her ass, he going to have to pay for that. Because you got tricks that pay for the simplest things. So why not? You got tricks that like buying chicks' panties. So, a real 304 understands this. So she's not finna be, letting the trick cop free feels. Then not just that, but just imagine that, because this type of stuff goes on, man. I done seen it. Just imagine a trick been outside. He been touching car door handles. He's been touching bathroom door handles. He might have touched the toilet, didn't wash his hands. He might have, used the bathroom, didn't wash his hands. He's touching tables. He's shaking people's hands. He doing all these different things with his hands. And then a chick let him touch her, touch her box with these dirty ass hands, these germy ass hands. He letting her touch her box, letting him touch her box, right? Crazy. And I know y'all like, man, Freeze, that's crazy, man. Man, chicks, man, you making this shit up, Freeze, man. They don't really be doing, man, I've seen it. And again, anybody who frequent these type of areas, you've seen it too. You know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. Letting this trick put his dirty ass hands on and in your box. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But it goes on. And again, a real 304, she wouldn't even imagine. She couldn't imagine. You know, nothing. She's not doing none of that. She's not, you know, tongue kissing a trick in the mouth at the bar. And see, this is what I can't say this without adding that, you know, the drugs and the alcohol play a major role in this. Just about every time that I've seen this type of stuff happen, the young lady is either extremely drunk or extremely high. In most cases, extremely drunk. You know, when I've seen chicks let a trick touch them in ways that they shouldn't be able to touch them, and especially in a public place, when I've seen chicks kissing tricks in the mouth, 9 times out of 10, they're extremely drunk. Right? So, again, this is another reason why a real 304, she's not going out there to get drunk. You know, if she at the bar having a drink with a trick, she's drinking a virgin margarita or something, you know, non-alcoholic or something extremely light, like maybe a glass of wine, maybe. But she's not getting drunk. That's what she's never going to do. She's not getting drunk while she's on the job, while she's out there doing what she's out there to do, which is break on a trick. She understands that that's going to hinder her chances of having her way. She's out there to have her way. She fired up. You know what I mean? She done had some good game popped in her ear. You know, pimping telling her what she need to hear. She listening to some Donna Cherry while she doing her hair and makeup and getting dressed. You know, she getting fired up about this game. So when she go out there, it's game time. You know how like certain athletes, they got their song that they listen to before they get to it. Or, you know, when you in the gym, you got your playlist. You know, in that playlist, when you hear that shit, it gets you fired up and ready to go hard in the gym. Yeah, it's the same way, man. Or same like the pimping. You know, we got our music that we play when we get ready to go campaign or when we in the bathroom getting dressed and shaving and, you know, doing our hair however way you do it and all that type of stuff. You know, same type of thing. Yeah, the 304, man, it's game time. She got her game face on when she out there. So she's not going to do anything that's going to hinder her chances of having her way. And she understands that alcohol is going to do that. Drugs are going to do that. So she's not engaging in that while she down. And she definitely ain't never, under any circumstance, kissing a trick in the mouth, letting the trick put his nasty, done touched on everything and collected 1,000 million germs ass hands on her body. Nah, it's not going down. Right? Because that's not what she wants. That might be what the trick want, but he's not going to be able to do that. And, you know, whatever she's willing to engage in with him, he going to have to pay. He's going to have to pay, man. So, yeah. And then also another thing, you know, just like as in the Blade, hey, man, all the socializing. Now, the socializing comes with a lot of potential nonsense on the Blade, but man, I don't know. Well, it's just different kinds of nonsense that come with these different like the carpet versus the blade and all that type of stuff, man. You know, it's some foul chicks out there. You know, especially like in places like Vegas and Miami. Listen, a chick will try to become your HP and slide up under you just to like figure out what you got going on, and if you got folks, and figure out what your folks got going on. Especially in that Vegas, man. Y'all already know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, I ain't got to get specific. I don't, you know, I don't want to strike any nerves or anything like that because of some sensitive situations that took place. But man, y'all already know when it comes to like Vegas and Miami, the type of stuff that chicks done with they quote unquote HPs. They became friends with this girl while they was down, and next thing you know, it's ugly. Ugly. Right? So the socializing definitely ain't going on. And another thing that I didn't touch on that applies to not just the carpet but the blade as well, doing doubles. You know, going on a double date with a 304 that you do not know, that's not a part of your household. Never. A real 304 ain't never doing that. You know, because again, there's so much potential drama and potential nonsense and potential danger that can come with that. The cons far outweigh the pros of doing a double with a chick that's not a part of your household as a 304. Right? Some of y'all might be familiar with the situation, some might not, but man, and I think I spoke on this before, but I remember a few years ago, man, 2 304s from different households. They, you know, catch a play together. They go do the play, but one made out significantly more than the other. You know, came out with an item that was, you know, worth a nice, you know, handsome ransom. And, you know, the one who got the shorter end of the stick, she felt entitled to bust it down the middle because it's like, hey, I was there too. You know, we gonna bust this down the middle. But the other one who got the better end of the stick was like, nah, we ain't busting nothing down the middle. So the one who got the shorter end of the stick, she want to fight the girl, right? She tries to fight the girl, but, you know, people get in the middle and they intervene. Man, how about she see the girl on another day, like I want to say like a day or two later, and she end up popping the girl. The girl lived. I can't remember where she hit her, but yeah, she shot the girl. Right? All because, you know, she felt like she got the shorter end of the stick. So that's just one example of how doing a double date with a 304 that's not a part of your household can go. Right? You know, you be thinking that, oh, she's cute. I like her. She funny. She cool. No. It's not cool. She ain't that cool. You know, the only time that makes sense to do is with a wifey. And even that is kind of like, you know, it depends. It depends. But the only exception to that is if it's with a wifey. But a chick that's not a part of your household, ain't no doubles. There will be no doubles. There will be no like bachelor parties we going to, and you know, these tricks is having a bachelor party, and you know, 3 or 4 of us, and we all got different folks, and we all finna go. No. It's not happening. Real 304 ain't even gonna play with that. You know, because she know 9 times out of 10, she got more 304 on with her than anybody else who might be in the mix. So what's most likely gonna happen is she's gonna get the better end of the situation, and the other chicks is gonna be mad. And, you know, it's a recipe for disaster. So she's not even gonna play with that. She's not even gonna entertain that. Right? So yeah. And then another thing too that I didn't mention on the blade. Got to go back to the blade for a second. Hey man, a real 304 on the blade, she's never going to get in the car and there's more than one trick in the car. There's more than one guy in the car. It's 2 or more guys in the car, she by herself. She's not going to do that. And again, she's not going to do the double with somebody outside the household. It's 2 tricks, and this girl come up to her and say, "Hey girl, I got these 2 tricks that they seeing you over here, and they want both of us." No, you don't know the tricks. You don't know the girl. No, you don't know what they up to. You don't know if they all together trying to plot on you, because you got them type of situations too. You got chicks out there that get cool with tricks, and, will try to set the next 304 up with the tricks. Again, there's so much beyond your control. And that's a situation that if you involve yourself, okay, the pro is you could potentially get some money. But what about the cons? What about the so many cons that could potentially be a part of that situation? Real 304 she's not finna involve herself in no shit like that. She understands that all money ain't good money. And as long as she play the game accordingly, she gonna have her way. She gonna get what she's supposed to have. She ain't even gonna play them games. Hold on a second. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So, right. Like Appleby say, yeah, women will plot on you. I know from experience. You already know. And again, if it's not like family or, part of the same household, it don't make no sense. Don't do it. And see, this is a mistake that a lot of chicks in the game make. They think that everybody thinks like them, and everybody's gonna be like them. Because you are cool, everybody's gonna be cool, because they gonna see how cool you are, and they gonna be like you. They gonna be cool like you cool. No. You know how to respect other people's space. You know how to respect other people's wishes. So you know how to not step on toes. So, because you're like that, when other people get around you and see that you like that, they going to be like that too. No. People don't care about how cool you are. They going to be not cool with you. These chicks, they don't care how respectful you are. They going to not be respectful with you. They going to disrespect you. Right? They don't care how classy and sweet you are. They gonna be nasty and ratchet with you. They don't care. You can't expect people to think like you and behave like you and be the same as you. No. That's a mistake you gonna make that's gonna cost you in so many ways. That's why, again, a real 304, she not doing that. She not doing no doubles with nobody, and she not socializing with nobody, and she ain't jumping in the car with 2 tricks. Never. Or more than 2 tricks. Never. Only time a 304 gonna get in the car with a trick is if he's by himself. Right? So yeah, man. Let's see. With the carpet. Is it something crucial that I'm missing? Oh, yeah. You know, and I know this gonna ruffle some people's feathers, but it's just the truth, man. Hey, listen. When a 304 is down, she not finna be walking around with them sandals on. You know? See, the game done got so soft. The game done got so weak. Well, I ain't gonna say the game. I'm gonna say people in the game, because the game is the same. The game is going to remain the same. It's been what it's been. It's going to be what it's going to be. The game is the game. But people in the game have gotten so soft. People in the game have gotten so weak. But again, a real 304, she like being down in heels. She likes the way she looks. She likes the response that she gets from people by looking classy and presenting herself as a classy grown-ass woman, right? She's never gonna be out there with some dirty-ass flip-flops on, especially moving in certain, prestigious areas. She gonna present herself the right way. Hold on a second, I ain't even did that. But let me, I just got so deep off into popping it, man. Let me acknowledge these supers one time. Tyler, as always, kicking the dough down. Good looking with the $2 holler. Appreciate you. Facts for life. Good looking with the $2 holler. Many blessings. Yes, indeed. Many blessings to you as well. Good looking. Brother Bill, good looking with that $2 holler, man. Glory to God for this game. Blessings. Long live Philip Brandon Gilmore. Yes, indeedy. Appreciate you. Jim, good looking with that $5 holler. Yeah, appreciate you. Get gup. Get gup. Is that what they say? Good looking. Judge Mills, good looking with the $20 holler. I appreciate the game. Long live Sinful. Judge Mills, I appreciate you as well. Good looking. Them Chinese flip-flops. Swish, you already know, man. See, this is what a real 304 understands, right? She wants a type of success, a level of success that not everybody has. A real 304 wants to be more successful than the average. So because she wants to have above average success, she wants to be able to check it in an above average fashion. She's not going to present herself as average. She's going to present herself as above average, right? She's going to do things that the average 304 is too lazy and unwilling to do. Because a real 304 understands that that's the thing that all successful people have in common. Y'all done heard me say this before, but that's the thing that all successful people, no matter what walk of life, what career type, legal, illegal, street, corporate, spiritual, non-spiritual, whatever it is, one thing all successful people have in common is a willingness to do what failures will not do. Right? So a real 304, she's willing to do things that the average 304 that's out there failing is too lazy to do. She don't want to do it. She feels too entitled to have to do that, or too lazy, or she shouldn't have to do that. That's what the real 304 is willing to do. Right? While you don't believe that you have to wear heels, or you too lazy to wear heels, or you too good to wear heels, the real 304 is going to have her heels on. right? She gonna step out looking like a movie star, right? For real though. Michael Weston, good looking with the $5 holla. Noob. Stickers is a trip. Good looking. Appreciate you. I see somebody gave a $2 super chat. I can't see who gave it, but they retracted the message. But whoever you are, good looking. I don't know what happened. Payable, Miss Holloway, good looking with the $2 holla. Appreciate you. Hold on. Oh, wait. Fix that. Okay. Yeah, man. You know. Oh, that was you that did the I don't know if you accidentally did 2 super chats, but Payable, appreciate you. At least that's what it looked like. Judge Mills say, I saw a lot of flip-flop wearing 304's and socializing on the carpet when I was in Vegas last month. Yeah, but you know, see, this is what you know has to be understood as well. You know, everything is necessary. Those types of individuals, they provide a contrast to the game that is necessary, right? Because there's so much of that going on. You know, the real 304s that present themselves accordingly wouldn't be as appreciated and as admirable if there wasn't, you know, those types of individuals. Now, it's unfortunate that those people make up the majority, because in an ideal world in the game, the majority would be, you know, real 304s, the right kinds of individuals, you know. But like I said, people in the game that got so weak and soft, man, I remember, like, it's crazy because you have chicks. This just go to show you how far people in the game have fallen. You have chicks in the game right now that claim to have quote unquote folks, but their quote unquote folks is really a boyfriend, and them, the quote unquote 304 is really a girlfriend, right? Doing favors for her boyfriend. But in her mind, she paying some pimping. So if you ask her if she got some pimping in her life, she'll say yes. But in reality, the dynamics of what they got going on is boyfriend, girlfriend. But you have chicks like that, you know, wear flip-flops and shouldn't have to do this and shouldn't have to do that and so on and so forth, right? So you can just imagine the renegades of today, how they are. But man, I remember a time where renegades wouldn't even come and get down without heels on. Even the renegades would wear heels all night, every night. You know, it was so customary for a chick in the game to have heels on. The renegades who don't even entertain the thought of paying some pimping wouldn't even be down with no flip-flops on. They gonna have heels on all night, every night. Right? So it's a shame that the renegades of yesterday have better etiquette in a lot of ways than the quote-unquote 304s with folks of today. It's the truth. And anybody who been around long enough to know, you know what I'm talking about. Man, it's certain renegades that come to mind. And you know, back then, I never thought about it. But looking at it in retrospect, because of the way things are today, I can reflect back like, damn, she was disrespectful. She was a punk. She was playing with the game. She did all kind of out of pocket, disrespectful, ridiculous stuff. But she always had heels on though. For real. So, yeah. They don't even, not only do they not make 304's like they used to, they don't even make Renegades like they used to. Oh, man. Yeah, they don't even make Renegades like they used to. But, you know what? I'm gonna end up wrapping this thing up in a minute, man. We probably gonna have to make a part 2 of this later on because I still got to touch on strip club etiquette, and I got to touch on internet etiquette, in-call, out-call etiquette of a real 304. Yeah, we got a lot of territory to cover that we ain't got to yet. But we more than likely gonna do a part 2 of this later on, man. Sylvia say, shout out to the ladies who can walk in 6-inch heel, who can walk six inches off the ground. Yes, indeed. Shout out to them grown ass women. Yeah. See, Sylvia, you already know you come from a time where, you know, women was being grown ass women. For real. Bitch gonna starve in my city. Don't break a black trick. What city are you in? Cinqua or Cinqua? I'm not sure how to say your name, pronounce your name properly. But what city are you in talking about they gonna starve? Because, see, when I was talking about not dating black tricks, I was speaking specifically on the West Coast. That's why I specified when I said that, you know, I was talking about the West Coast because I know for sure that there's other areas in the country where what you said is for sure the truth. Freeze, I sent the question. It's at the top. I don't see your question. I sent the questions at the top. You saying at the top, like, okay. Oh, wait, is this what you talking about? Hold on. AP, we both know the game is the solution to everything. But out of all the P's that lost their life, wouldn't you say it's wise for a P to keep a strap on them? Hold on a second. I'll get to that in just a second. Hold on. Guess who? Good looking with the $5 holla. All praises to the Most High for this game. Appreciate you. This is what I will say, Swish. You know, whether or not somebody chooses to keep a strap on them is up to them. But what I will say is wise to keep on you at all times is game. Because game is going to protect you from situations that a gun won't. Game is going to protect you from things that a gun won't. Right? Because, like you said, unfortunately, a lot of people in the game have lost their lives. A lot of people in the game that have lost their lives had a firearm on them when they lost their life. Right? So, because we understand that, you know, what should also be understood is that game, again, like you said, like I always say, game is the solution for everything. See, when you have game, it's like I tell, you know, ladies in the game that might be under my instructions. I tell them the same thing. Game is the best thing that you could take to work with you, right? You know, when you take the game with you everywhere you go, you gonna move wisely. You gonna play chess. So you're not gonna be in certain environments that you shouldn't be in. You gonna present yourself a certain type of way depending on where you are. You know, it's just so much game that can be applied to situations. And it's not to say that, you know, certain individuals who lost their lives, unfortunately, didn't take the game with them and didn't apply game, but, you know, knock on wood. But, you know, I've never had to use a pistol to get out of situations in the game. But I've definitely used game to get out of situations in the game. Right? And see, that's the thing too, right? A lot of people, like I said, have lost their lives with a pistol on them. And a lot of times people have that firearm on them, right? Or firearms on them. And some people, when they have that on them, you know, game is not their first resort. If they feel a threat or they want to be a threat, you know, the first thing they're going to resort to is that firearm. Most people. You know, somebody like myself, on the other hand, my first resort is the game. The firearm is going to be my last resort. Right? Because I don't want to unalive anything and I don't want to let nothing die. So, yeah, I'm a, you know, game is going to be the solution for everything. Right? So yeah, that's what that is. Another thing I wanted to ask is, can you tell a chick is not going to like you before you approach her? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but you know, you never know. A chick might look mean as hell, and then you say something to her and she smile or she laugh or whatever, you know. So, and she might be standoffish towards every other guy that's saying something to her, but that don't mean she gonna be that way with you. I've had that happen before, you know what I mean? I done seen chicks that's like, you know, from the looks of things, you would think they were stuck up because there's so many guys approaching them and they turning them down left and right. But then you say something to her. Prime example, right? I think Sinful done told this story, and I've told it before too. I'll tell this and then we're going to wrap it up. But I remember in Vegas, man, this way back in the day. It was a 304 in Planet Hollywood, and everybody was sweating this chick, right? And she was giving cats action, like she was actually sitting down having conversations with all these dudes, right? But nobody moved her. I swear, this one night / morning, she must have had a conversation with like 20 different guys. There's supposed to be some pimping, right? And none of them moved her. She probably took some numbers. She probably gave her number to some exchange, whatever. But nobody moved her, right? So then I remember, you know, like me, that's one thing about me. I like to sit back, like Sinful say, I observe and stay preserved until you see who deserve your time. So this is how I've always been, right? So while she's having all these different conversations with everybody, I'm just sitting back paying attention, right? So once all of this is over, top of the morning, you know, I'm like one of the few that didn't say anything to this chick. And she goes to the taxi line in the valet, right? This before ride shares, before Uber and Lyft. So she goes to the taxi line. And by this time, everybody done sweating her. So she's standing in the taxi line by herself. And I go up to her and I say, you have to either be very green or very unhappy. But I'm inclined to believe that it's the latter. And she say, why you say that? I say because, the way that you moving, like, I think really you just unhappy. And then she invited me. She said, "You want to go to breakfast? Can I take you to breakfast?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." So I jumped in the cab with her, and we ended up being pimpishly and hoishly ever after, right? But that's just an example of just because you see that this chick, and everybody was looking like, "Damn, Freeze done moved her." Some cats sat and talked with her for 10 minutes. Some of them sat and talked with her for 5 minutes. Some of them talked with her for 20 minutes. Man, I talked to her for about 10 seconds. And she asked me, can she take me to breakfast? You know what I mean? So, again, one of my favorite quotes from Henry Ford. If I asked the people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. You know what I mean? They couldn't imagine a car, an automobile being presented to them. So on the same token, if you leave it up to this chick, she might not even know what she wants. She might not even know that what you have to offer is what she wants, or that it's the best thing for her unless you present it to her. Right? So, yeah, man. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Hydrate my game one more time. Put some love in my body before we get up out of here. Okay. Hold on a second. All right, man. We're going to wrap this thing on up. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate you for all the comments, questions, input, feedback, jokes, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate you for all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate you for your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.